This is the third FPS game I have covered from scratch at 5 a.m. after a long night of playing the game and getting gameplay and formulating my thoughts. I look like shit. I sound like shit. But for the first time this month, it feels worth it. Because of Halo. Halo makes it worth it. So now I'm going to bitch and tear it apart for existing. Stay tuned. Alright, cool. We're making another 5 a.m. video about an FPS game that just came out. Thank you so much, Microsoft, for dropping Halo Infinite out of nowhere. That's actually super cool. Great marketing strategy. Really stick it to those people waiting for shipment in Vanguard and the official launch of Battlefield 2042. But did you have to release the game on the day I decided I was gonna do all this fucking yard work? I was moving wood chips and raking leaves and cleaning the front of my house and getting things ready for holiday decorations. All the while, people are playing and enjoying Halo Infinite while I'm out in the cold, raking leaves. Great, thanks. But this video is gonna start off incredibly negative, and then we're gonna move on to the positives, because I am loving this game. I think it's gonna be really great. It's starting so strong for a AAA FPS game, a free-to-play AAA FPS game. So, there's so many nice things to say, but I gotta get all this negative shit that ruined my play session tonight out of the way first. And I'm not kidding, it genuinely ruined my play session. I genuinely wanted to stop playing because of everything I'm about to mention. First things first, and this is feedback I had back during the tech test, nade spam is insane. There are so many grenades, and I have more evidence about this problem now. My friend did some testing and he let me know that there are 24 grenades in play in terms of in players' inventories and around the map at start. 2 per player plus 4 nade spawns, meaning everybody is starting out with 16 nades ready to be thrown and 8 more ready to be picked up. So I have 6 possible fixes. Lower the max nade count. Don't let people carry more than 2 or 3 grenades. Add grenade friendly fire. One of the big problems is I'll be fighting somebody while their teammates are peppering both me and them with grenades. Like in previous Halo games, if you're pushing an enemy and your teammates keep throwing grenades into that room you're pushing, you're going to end up dying or getting severely disadvantaged by your teammates just being nade spamming fucks. And in this game, there's nothing like that. So that needs to be fixed. I don't like people moving in with their teammates' grenades at their back and front. You could also remove grenade hit markers. Giving people a hit marker with their grenades means that they can room check and corner check for people because, you spawn with 2 grenades, you can pick up 2 more grenades. So if you want to know if someone's around a corner, just throw a grenade. So many times I'll be sitting and waiting for an opponent, a grenade flies around the corner, takes half or all of my shield, and they get a hit marker, they know that I've been hit by it, and they come around with an advantaged state. That's dumb, so remove nade hit markers. You could also have grenades spawn in slower. Instead of a 30-second timer, maybe a 45, 50-second timer on the respawns. Then you could have players spawn with only 1 grenade or no grenades. You could also remove some nade spawns in general. There are nade spawns right outside of main primary spawn locations or inside of main primary spawn locations, meaning at the start of a game, the entire enemy team has 16 grenades and they can get 2 or 4 more right off the start. The beginning of some of these matches is comparable to an artillery strike because of all of this grenade spam, and it makes gunfights feel trivial and stupid. It's actually at the point where I'm a little excited during objective game modes when I die because I know I'm gonna respawn with an easy double kill in my pocket. Now the next thing is also an issue from the tech tests. Controller still doesn't feel right. Now, before you say it works on my machine, before you say it's fine for me, it's playable for me too. It works fine for me enough, but it's not up to the standard of other competitive FPS games with their controller settings. At the max sensitivity and aim acceleration, it still feels sluggish and slow, especially with my control freak ring that I use on my controller. My aim feels very snappy and fluid in Call of Duty Vanguard, and I even got my aim to feel pretty good in Battlefield 2042, but in Halo Infinite, I feel sluggish and slow, and I'm playing with a much lower feeling sensitivity than I would prefer. Even without my control freak ring, I noticed the same issue, where it just feels more sluggish and less responsive than I'd like. I have played with all of the settings. I have spent over an hour and a half just playing with settings since Infinite came out just trying to see if I could get it to feel better. And of course, I found a sweet spot where it feels serviceable, playable, but not competitive. I will not value this game as a competition on my console until they add proper aim settings. There needs to be aim assist settings, there needs to be the ability to select your own response curve, dynamic, standard, linear, whatever it might be. Battlefield 2042 also kind of dropped the ball with controller settings this year, making them overly complicated and kind of weird, especially compared to Battlefield 5, but I will say they're much better than Halo Infinite settings. If I want to play with a crazy, unmanageable sensitivity, let me do that. My control freak ring is amazing for FPS games, but I need a higher sensitivity in order to properly use it. I honestly need 50 or 100% more sensitivity than this game is currently giving me for it to feel as snappy and fluid as I would like. And this brings me to the next issue. Now, I don't see any aim assist settings in the settings at all. I don't see any mention of aim assist, which concerns me because my friend and I noticed a crazy amount of bullet magnetism, getting random hit markers without red reticle at both close and long range. There is clearly some bullet magnetism in this game. Now, if you want me to do a whole video breaking down my findings on that, I'd be happy to, but I fear that this was 343's solution to people's problem with aiming. And I wonder if it's why I feel better playing the game now than I did during the tech test. Not because of a better, more robust aim assist setting or better, tighter controls, but instead just sort of monkey magic behind the scenes, moving my bullets magically into my target. I know Halo has always had bullet magnetism, but I would rather have proper aim assist slowdown and rotation compared to weird magnetism. Please stop doing this, 343. There's also still the issue with precision weapons not having any aim assist slowdown that I can detect or any aim assist rotation that I can detect when, hip firing, which sucks because I'm going to be playing this game in crossplay against other PC players, which don't need any aim assist because mouse is just 110% more accurate. The fact that there's no input-based matchmaking or crossplay toggle yet really pisses me off and will move the game into a more unplayable state than I would prefer, because I really don't want to fight a mouse user with the controller settings being this limiting and the bullet magnetism being as strong as it is, because I imagine it would also affect PC players as well, unless they only built bullet magnetism into controller use, in which case just fucking create robust, nice aim assist settings similar to how Call of Duty does it. I'd be all for Halo having next to no aim assist in a console-only environment, but this game's gonna be cross-play, so 343, pull your head out of your ass. I actually noticed during my play session that every enemy that was giving me the hardest time, I went and checked their gamer card, and they were playing on PC. So the hardest enemies I was dealing with were clearly on PC and getting that mouse and keyboard advantage, which, yeah, mouse and keyboard's better, good for them, I should just switch, right? But Halo is a console shooter at heart. I think it's always felt really good with controller. I don't like that this feels like a shitty PC port instead of, a dedicated Xbox Series X game. The next issue I had was that skill-based matchmaking seemed very easy to predict. If my friend and I had a really rough game, the next game was laughably easy, and that cycle just repeated over and over and over again. We would go from playing against casual console players to hardened PC FPS veterans every other game. In fact, we had a game so bad that our teammates left and had to be replaced by bots, and then the teammates that replaced those bots ended up leaving again, and then we had a match that was laughably easy, then we had another match that was so bad our teammates left, and then the next match it was laughably easy, and again, that cycle just kept repeating. This could honestly just be because of the weirdness that comes with playing an FPS game really late at night on its unofficial launch night for its dead drop pre-season version. So, take it with a grain of salt. The next thing I have a huge problem with, because, it seems easy to fix, the assault rifle, while fulfilling its role, is stretching out into other roles, and I don't like it. I don't know if they did change something or not, but it still feels way too good. I feel like if I'm not nade spamming a room and then just pushing forward with an assault rifle, I'm not playing the game right. Almost every other power weapon requires shot pacing, has a slower rate of fire, requires more accuracy, but the assault rifle is just hold the reticle on somebody and walk towards them and just mow them the fuck down. Preferably throw 3 or 4 grenades in at them first. This meta could be easily avoided by just decreasing the damage on the assault rifle, reducing headshot damage if at all possible, or, and this one's a really fun one, increase the bloom. Like, just make this thing spread a bit more. Yeah, it'll make it more random, but it'll also keep it from hitting me at mid-range. I think it should be a close-range weapon. If you want to use a long-range weapon, use a BR, use a commando, hell, use your sidekick. And oh my god, trying to use the sidekick with these aim assist and weird aim settings, yeah, it's possible, it's doable, it's playable, but then when you watch somebody on PC just land perfect headshots with the sidekick all day and night, it drives me up the goddamn wall, and it's one of the reasons I had to stop playing tonight. So anyway, the assault rifle seems too strong, and I just don't like the meta that it brings. I honestly feel like the sidekick should be a little bit more accurate and maybe a little bit better at its longer ranges. I just say that because there isn't a DMR equivalent in the game that really feels like a Halo DMR. BR feels few and far between. It feels like the game is just AR spam and then some really weird, niche, harder to use power weapons. Of course, with the exception being, of course, like the rocket launcher, which is just, you know, fire and win, which is fine. Anyway, then on top of all of these gameplay things that are bothering me, both in terms of controls and weapon balance and grenades, the store prices and the challenge-only progression. This fucking kills my enthusiasm to grind this game. The store prices are insanely high, and while I did shell out 10 bones for the battle pass, I did not realize how long it would take to progress. But focusing currently on the store prices, yeah, store prices are way too damn high. Everything is way too damn expensive and is not worth the purchase. It really feels like a free-to-play game's in-game store. And if you use the fact that the game is free to justify this, you are part of the problem. Like, you could say Call of Duty's worse, but, you know, if you spend $10 on a Call of Duty Battle Pass now, you make all of that money back through COD points, and you can get the next Battle Pass for free. So if you're a dedicated player that gives a shit, you can just get free Battle Passes all year round because of the way they have that system set up. And also, your time played in XP go into your Battle Pass in Call of Duty, whereas Halo Infinite only lets you progress your Battle Pass, your 160 tier Battle Pass, through challenges. So after playing 20 matches of Halo Infinite tonight, I am happy to say I am 2.5 tiers in because I wasn't focusing on challenges every game. Now, keeping in mind how sweaty some of these games were, I wasn't going to go change my playstyle to complete a challenge to unlock a single shader or helmet or visor. There are so many things I want to play around with in the Battle Pass, but it's gonna take forever to get to them because I'm not willing to change my playstyle to unlock cosmetics in Halo. Like, Halo, yeah, that's been a thing in the past, but like, come on, at least give me XP for winning a game. Give me like 100 XP for finishing a game, 150 for winning a game, and 175 for leading a winning game. That'd be great. Then if I play 10 matches or so, I can get a tier done. That would be great, but instead, you did the opposite of great here, 343. I don't want to grind your game because of this. So to recap my issues, nade spam is a huge problem that's very easily solved. The AR feels too strong, bullet magnetism feels wonky, weird, don't like it. Aim assist and controller settings in general feel off, just like in the tech test, but slightly better, and I think it's due to their crazy bullet magnetism. Store prices and challenge only progression sucks. PC players have a crazy advantage due to the low aim assist on controller and lackluster aim settings in general. And if you stay till this point in the video, you get to hear my weird complaint. There's just a lack of physics fun in this game. Like, you can't stand on other Spartans' shoulders. You really can't player collision your enemies. They kind of like glide past you. It's weird. It feels shallow. Rocket jumping seems impossible. Using the gravity hammer to get some movement speed or, you know, get a little boost doesn't exist. Like, 343 is essentially saying, if you want to get a fun boost, use a repulsor, use a grappling hook. Don't experiment with the weapons and the environments to have that fun. Use the mechanics we lay out for you to have that kind of fun, and I think that kind of sucks. I don't even think you can use a frag grenade to blow a weapon towards you. They just expect you to grappling hook it with the grappling hook, you know, equipment gadget thing, and like, that's That's cool that you can do that, but why can't I do both? Why can't I throw a frag grenade at a sniper rifle and launch it towards me? Like, maybe you can, and my friend and I just didn't test it right, but we were in a private match trying to throw grenades at weapons, and it just didn't work. Or shooting live grenades didn't seem to work either. You couldn't shoot a live grenade and have it explode. It just kind of felt shallow, but let us know if our testing was wrong. So, with all of this ranting and whining and bitching and kvetching out of the way, how do I feel about Halo Infinite? It's fucking awesome. Like, yeah, there's a lack of content at launch, and I'll make a whole video about this game's free-to-play model being a huge detriment to my enjoyment, but gameplay-wise, moment-to-moment gameplay-wise, the moments you find yourself in when fighting opponents, fun as hell. A breath of fresh air, yet familiar and kind. I really like it. It's very cool. Very happy with it. I'm very happy that I didn't pay anything for it. Now, the problem is, I feel like I'm gonna end up paying for this game with my soul, because I feel like it's going to slowly drain it through weird live service practices that I'll find nothing but confusing as time goes on. But when somebody tries to repulse you with the repulsor, and you jump back and grappling hook the wall behind them and then move in for a melee kill and it works, you realize this game is beautifully designed. Not flawlessly designed, but beautifully designed. Call of Duty Vanguard? That's pretty well designed. Battlefield 2042? It was clearly designed. This game is beautifully designed. But it's not gonna hold my attention as long as even a Call of Duty game does if it doesn't get its progression down, if it doesn't get its controls down, if it doesn't get content fast. I'm hoping at launch we see more maps and more ways to unlock cosmetics and things of the sort. I hope we see a big chunk of shit when the game actually launches on December 8th. Because currently the thing I'm most excited for, if these things aren't fixed soon, it's gotta be that campaign, baby. Plugging this game into my big TV and my sound system and playing the campaign. Sounds way more fun than grinding this game's multiplayer long-term in its current state. But of course, this is a beta, early access, free-to-play, pre-season thing, so I can't complain too much. I'm gonna save most of my complaining until December, and then they get some grace period, and then after December, around end of January into February, that's when I'll really start, taking off the gloves and going ham a little bit. But for the most part, kids, the game's cool. If you want to download it, I highly recommend it. I just hope everything I mentioned in this video is at least addressed in some small way. Okay, I didn't mention small little complaints I have in this video, maybe except for the physics issues, but this is all stuff that will keep me from playing the game. A game that I am currently kinda loving. I'd hate to not play it because these things just go unaddressed. Anyway, my throat hurts. It's 5:42 a.m. I'll see you when I see you guys.